Hey everybody, this is Rykard here again, and welcome to another Pokemon sets video for the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Mega Pokemon. In today's video, we'll be discussing Mega Swampert and some possible set ideas that you can run on this Pokemon once the games are released. So with that, let's get started like we always do by taking a look at this Pokemon's typing, ability, and stats. So to start things off, the first thing that you'll note about Mega Swampert is that when this Pokemon does Mega Evolve, it retains its Water Ground typing and also gains the ability Swift Swim. Now the great thing about retaining the Water Ground typing, in my opinion, is that this type of coverage in itself, being only its stab moves of Water and Ground type, is extremely good in itself, and it also makes it really easy to support Mega Swampert, because being only weak to Grass, even though this is a 4x weakness, you could very easily bring something else on your team that could take Grass type moves for days and allow Mega Swampert multiple opportunities to come in and deal a lot of damage with its immense attacking stats, while not really having to be worried about many of the things that would easily be able to come in and KO it with a Grass type move. So this makes Swampert, in my opinion, one of the easiest Mega Pokemon to support with something else, and the fact that it's so offensive gives you plenty of opportunities to switch it in and deal a lot of damage to anything on your opponent's team. But the main advantage of the Swift Swim ability that it acquires once Swampert does Mega Evolve is that this actually makes Swampert really fast, which is something that, for those of you that have used Swampert before, is something that you've never really experienced before. Because if you take a look at its stats, Swampert only has a base 60 speed when it's not in its Mega form, and even when it does Mega Evolve, it's still only base 70, being increased by 10 points. But either way, being in Swift Swim and being a Water Ground type basically makes it a super-powered version of Seismitoad, which was our original Swift Swim Water Ground type. And with Swampert having the immense bulk that it has, along with this really high attacking stat that it gains, and I'll go over that in just a second, it basically turns Swampert into a really unique type of Pokemon in that it becomes a bulky Rain Sweeper, which is something I feel like we have never experienced before in Pokemon in terms of the ones that we've been given before. So that's really unique to Swampert, and it also just proves how effective this Mega Pokemon could be under the effects of rain. But to look a little bit closer at its stats and see exactly how they change when he does Mega Evolve, you'll notice that its attack is increased by 40, its defense is increased by 20, its special attack is increased by 10, its special defense is increased by 20, and then again its speed stat is increased by 10 points, effectively buffing every single stat that Swampert has except for its HP. And overall, this will turn Swampert into an extremely deadly physical attacker for the most part, that is also augmented by the fact that it is ridiculously bulky at the same time, making it very difficult to take down provided you don't have a super effective attack to hit it with. So for this first set that I am sharing with you in this video, we're going to begin by giving Mega Swampert a Jolly Nature to increase its speed but lower its special attack, and for purposes of the regular Swampert before we Mega Evolve, we're going to be going with the Torrent ability. As for the EVs, we're going to max its physical attack with 252 EVs into that, and also max its speed with 252 EVs into that, and put the remainder 4 EVs into its special defense, while obviously running the Swampertite item to allow Swampert to achieve its Mega Evolution. As for the moves, this set is specifically designed to allow Swampert to be as effective as it can possibly be under the effects of rain. So the first two moves that we're going to be going with are going to be its main stab attacks in the form of Waterfall for its Water type stab, and Earthquake for its Ground type stab. Now, Aqua Tail is also an option for a Water type move, however it is less accurate than Waterfall even though it is 10 base power higher, but it also does not have the 20% chance to flinch that Waterfall does have, so I would still argue that even though Waterfall is slightly weaker, it is still the better option here. But for some more type coverage, even though Water and Ground is excellent type coverage in itself, we're going to want to run some other moves on this set. So the first option I'm going to present to you is going to be Ice Punch, which is an excellent way for allowing Mega Swampert to deal with some of the Grass type Pokemon that would normally pose a threat to it due to its 4x weakness to Grass type moves. This is also very effective for allowing you to hit some flying type Pokemon that obviously Earthquake would be ineffective against, and Waterfall might only hit for neutral damage, so overall Ice Punch is an excellent option for type coverage. But if you do want some other type coverage, you could also additionally run Superpower as a way to give Swampert an immensely powerful fighting type attack that can deal with many of the steel types that Earthquake might not be able to, such as a Pokemon like Ferrothorn, which, also having the grass typing, poses a huge threat to Mega Swampert. So having the superpower move will give you a way to deal with Ferrothorn as well as a few other Pokemon, and especially some normal type Pokemon like Blissey or other things like that, and give you some good type coverage overall just with that move in itself. So Ice Punch and Superpower are both excellent options for a third move slot. But for the last one, you could either choose to set up Rain yourself with Mega Swampert, or you could rely on your teammates to set up Rain and make use of another attacking move. Now, the great thing about being able to set up Rain with Mega Swampert is that because it is so ridiculously bulky with those base 110 defenses, you're pretty much guaranteed to set up a Rain Dance against anything, provided that it obviously does not have a super effective grass type move to use against you. So this allows Swampert an extremely easy way to boost its speed and sweep through opponents' teams. But if you do have Rain support from another member of your team, you can make use of Stone Edge as another option for type coverage, or you could even go with Power Up Punch in the last move slot, which I would actually argue might be the best option here if you do have Rain support, because this will allow you to increase your physical attack by 1 stage every time you make contact with this move. And that's amazing because Swampert, with its base 150 physical attack, is extremely threatening on its own. However, there are a few Pokemon that could very easily deal with it, like Mega Venusaur and other things like that. But Power Up Punch gives you an effective way to boost your attack and make it extremely difficult for those Pokemon that could potentially wall out Swampert to do that, because you'll be having a boosted physical attack at the same time. So there are a lot of different options that Mega Swampert can run, in addition to its pretty much set in stone Waterfall and Earthquake moves that will give it some great type coverage and allow it to be an extremely effective sweeper under the effects of Rain. And as for this last set, we're going to begin by giving Mega Swampert a Careful Nature to increase its special defense and lower its special attack, and then again going with the Torrent ability for the regular Swampert, which is going to turn into Swift Swim when it does Mega Evolve, which in this case really isn't that important for purposes of this set, as we are basically seeking just to take advantage of Swampert's increased defense stats when it does Mega Evolve. So for the EVs, this time we're going to put 252 into its HP to max that out, 4 into its physical attack, and then 252 EVs into its special defense to max that out as well, and make it as especially bulky as it possibly can be. And for the item, obviously going with the Swampertite item to allow it to achieve its Mega Evolution. But for the moves, this set is designed to be a mono-attacking boosting set that is going to take advantage of Swampert's increased defenses when it does Mega Evolve. So the first move that we're going to be going with is going to be Curse, which will boost Swampert's physical attack and physical defense by 1 stage, while also simultaneously lowering its speed. Now, because Swampert isn't that fast in itself, unless it does have Rain support, running Curse isn't that big of a deal, and it's important to note why the heck does this Pokemon not learn Bulk Up, because it is quite literally the only Pokemon in the game that actually physically bulks up when it Mega Evolves, but that's besides the point. But anyway, along with Curse, we're going to be running Waterfall as our only attacking move on this set, which arguably is better than running Earthquake in my opinion, because there are way less things that are immune to Waterfall than there are things that are immune to ground type moves. So this set, yes, it is completely walled by something with the Water Absorb ability or Storm Drain ability, but at the same time, because of your crazy good bulk and your boosted attacking stats after you do use Curse a bunch of times, Waterfall should be enough in most cases to be able to do a lot of damage to pretty much anything on your opponent's team and slowly wear it down, even if you are hitting the opponent for some not very effective damage. Now, along with that, we're going to be running Rest and Sleep Talk as the infamous healing combination to allow Swampert to not only recover its HP and get rid of any statuses, but also allow it to continue to be threatening from when it is asleep on the battlefield. And this is especially effective for this Pokemon because Mega Swampert, like many Mega Pokemon, because you lose the opportunity to run leftovers, does not have any recovery whatsoever outside of Rest. So running Rest will allow Swampert to keep itself healthy throughout battle and continue to boost up over and over again until it can max its physical attack or physical defense and be able to sweep through teams with its one attacking move in the form of Waterfall. And this set is extremely similar to one of the most popular Suicune sets, which is the Crocune set, where you basically just run one attack with Calm Mind and Rest Sleep Talk. and that proves to be extremely effective on that Pokemon, so I figured why not try it from this Pokemon from the physical side and see how it works. And it is extremely effective because Swampert's base 110 defenses in both its physical and special defense, and running max special defense on the set, give it all the tools it needs to be effectively extremely bulky and be able to take hits while also dishing out a ton of damage after it's boosted a few times with Curse. But anyways, everybody, that is it for this video. There are maybe some other options that this Pokemon could run. I really haven't come up with anything though thus far that isn't just a generic Swampert set that you just slap a Mega Stone on. So there really isn't anything too unique other than these two sets that this Pokemon is able to run. Obviously, you still do have the option to run, Stealth Rock, and you can run Scald for the chance to burn and all that kind of stuff with Roar and all that stuff. But overall, pretty much all of the Swampert sets that you already know and use are effective for Mega Swampert. You just slap on the Mega Stone and you're good to go. So there really isn't anything else to note here, in my opinion. But anyways, everybody, like I said, that is it for this video. So as always, take care, goodbye, and I will see you all next time.